Scout Troop 240 and their Scout Master John Puglisi. And our two troops will be working together through the ceremony. Now please allow me to introduce our senior patrol leader, Troop 5, Rob Healy, who will supervise the presentation of the colors.
All rise. Scouts, attention. Color guard, present the colors.
He got up. I thought he was going to take a walk.
Two. We are here today to honor the symbol of our country and retire our flag, which has served its useful life as a symbol of freedom in our country.
I am your flag. I was born on June 14, 1777. I am more than just a piece of cloth shaped into a colorful design. I am the silent centennial of freedom for the greatest sovereign nation on earth. I am the inspiration for which American patriots gave their lives and fortunes. I am the emblem of America. I have led your sons into battle from Valley Forge to Vietnam. I have been there through the Civil War, two World Wars, at Gettysburg, Gulf War, and now Iraq. All of them, I was there with George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Franklin Roosevelt, and John F. Kennedy, and I am here with you now.
When comes the time when I am old and faded, do not let me fly in disrepair. Rather retire me from my duties, only to replace me with a new flag, so that I may continue to symbolize our country. With this, renew your commitment to what I stand for, and pledge your allegiance to me one final time.
Scout salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think we're going to turn it over now to Linda Deis and the Holland Middle School Choir for the national anthem.
the sun's out now, so I go undercover, and thank you all for being here. I'm Pete Palestina. I'm your MC this evening. And at this time, I'd like to thank the Scouts, Linda Deis, and the Holland Middle School Choir. Supervisor Chairman George Kamalowski, unfortunately, could not be with us this evening. So tonight, at this time, I'm going to call upon Supervisor Vice Chairman Vincent Deon for recommended remarks.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming this evening. Good evening, everyone. And on behalf of the Northampton Township Board of Supervisors, I'd like to welcome everyone to our tribute to the American flag and all it represents. We put this program together so that residents can bring their tattered old glories to this ceremony for proper disposal. To those that helped in this organization of the event, I'd like to thank my fellow supervisors who are here, Frank Rollins, over at the end, Jim Cunningham, Irene Soder, and George Kamalowski were unable to attend. I'd like to thank the township staff, especially Lisa Russo, the fire marshal, Frank Fenton, Bob Colt, and all the guys in the public works. Thank you very much. Especially thanks this evening to our volunteer fire department. Our guest speaker, Colonel Tom Manion, United States Marine Corps retired, who will be properly introduced later on. Guests Dan Fraley and County Commissioners Charley Martin and Rob Loughery. Rob Mitchell is sitting in for Congressman Patriot, and I don't see Tommy Tomlinson or Al Sutter sitting in for him. The color guard were provided by the Boy Scouts. Our singers, Linda Deis and the choir group from Holland Middle School. The Boy Scouts from Troop Number 5, Churchville, led by Scoutmaster Tim Poe, and Troop 240 from St. Vincent DePaul, led by John Puglisi. And finally, thanks to two local businesses shown in the back, and that would be Gasper's and Prudential Fox and Rose Realtor, Lynn Kelleher, who is close by. And Gasper Landscaping for the potted plants, along with Lynn Kelleher, who provided the small flag. And again, Peter, thank you again for putting on this show.
You're welcome. I'd like to read with you the passage on the second page of the program pamphlet that was written by Marine Corps Master Sergeant Percy Webb, entitled I Am Old Glory, and which I believe sums up what our flag is all about. For more than 10 score years, I have been the banner of hope and freedom for generation after generation of Americans. Born amid the first flames of America's fight for freedom, I am the symbol of a country that has grown from a little group of 13 colonies to a united nation of 50 sovereign states. Planted firmly on the high pinnacle of American faith, my gently fluttering soles have proved an inspiration to untold millions. Men have followed me into battle with unwavering courage. They have looked upon me as a symbol of national unity. They have prayed that they and their fellow citizens might continue to enjoy the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness which have been granted to every American as the heritage of free men. So long as men love liberty more than life itself, so long as they treasure the priceless privileges brought with the blood of our forefathers, so long as the principles of truth, justice, and charity for all remain deeply rooted in human hearts, I shall continue to be the enduring banner of the United States of America. With all that's going on in the world today, especially in Iraq and Afghanistan, we need to take some time to reflect on what this country is all about, and the men and women who have fought and died for it, and who are fighting and dying even today for what this flag of America represents. So let us all reflect on this as we go through tonight's ceremony. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Colonel Tom Manion. Tom's parents believed in service, though back then they called it helping others. They believed in the promise and opportunity of America. These are beliefs Tom's parents instilled deeply in him. Tom graduated from our public schools and then worked his way through college, graduating from Widener University. He then went on to serve his country in the Marines. Tom served 11 years of active duty as a Marine and another 19 years in the Marine Reserves retiring at the end of 2007 as a colonel. While serving in our country, Tom also furthered his education, earning a master's degree from the Naval Postgraduate School. The Marines strengthened in Tom the belief in helping others that his parents had nurtured. Tom's son Travis was a graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy and gave his life on April 29, 2007, while serving his second tour in Iraq. He made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of public service. And in doing so, Travis reminded Tom that his service to our country and his fellow citizens is not over. As a successful business executive and Marine colonel, Tom has spent nearly 30 years bringing people of different views together to solve problems. He has learned firsthand that working together and building relationships gets results. And he knows that the risk of making tough decisions is much less than the risk of not making them at all. Today, he proudly serves as a board member of a great organization, the Travis Manion Foundation. A 20-foot beam from the former World Trade Center towers in Manhattan was acquired by the Travis Manion Foundation, who will donate the beam to the County of Bucks at a future date. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our keynote speaker, Tom Manion.
Wow, Pete, that's, I think that's my campaign resume. What an introduction. But, well, it's great to be here tonight. Before we get started, I just want to recognize one other person that's here with us tonight, Francie Dembowski, his son Bobby, also paid the ultimate sacrifice, and a little hand for Francie. It's great to be here with you tonight and be part of this celebration for our great flag. You know, as I was thinking about what I'd share with you here tonight, I had to recall the 56 men that signed our Declaration of Independence, not really too far from where we stand here. These men were committed to liberty and freedom, but they were, at the time, violating their British Empire. And it was an act of treason, actually, from these men that signed this declaration. If not for these men, what might our nation be today? What might our world be? These men, in the words of this great document, pledged to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. It's really as if they asked themselves, if not me, then who will fight for freedom? If not me, then who will lead the way for independence? If not me, then who will display the courage so that others could follow? This course of action was fraught with danger. 18 of these men saw their homes destroyed by the enemy, often looted, burned to the ground, their livestock killed, their fields ravaged. 9 of the 56 wouldn't live to see a free America. They perished in the war. 5 were captured and imprisoned, in each case with brutal treatment. Several were wounded in battle. 2 lost sons killed in the war. 1 lost his 13 children. These men lost wives, fortunes, careers, land, children, and their own freedom to British prisons. Indeed, for many, the pledge of their lives and their fortunes proved to be all too real. But these are the men that founded this country. We founded a nation built on a belief that all men are created equal and have rights given by God. They built an enduring nation that would shine the light of liberty in every corner of our world. These are the men who inspired a revolution, who ignited a passion that would be woven together in the red, white, and blue of our mighty American flag. But they were not the last generation to revere the flag. They were not the last generation to ask the question, if not me, then who? Since our independence, generation after generation have stepped forward to defend our country.
its freedoms, and our flag. And in December of 2006, my son Travis had just had his orders changed. He now will be shipping out to Iraq for a second tour in just a matter of weeks. As a joke, someone suggested to him that maybe he should figure out a way to break his ankle so he wouldn't have to return to Iraq. Well, Travis, at that point, turned and looked that person in the eye and said, "If not me, then who?" He knew he had the experience and success of his first tour in Iraq. He knew someone would have to fight for freedom. Someone would have to lead the way. He knew someone would have to display courage so that others would follow. And he knew, just like Americans for generations have known, if not him, then maybe no one would enter the arena. If not him, then maybe no one would risk everything for the belief that freedom is not free. This flag that was inspired by the patriotism of our founding fathers, men who risked everything so that we might live under the light of freedom today, is the same flag that Travis wore on his final day, and every day while in service to our nation. Just 4 months after that conversation, Travis would be caught in a firefight in Fallujah, in Al Anbar province of Iraq, with his fellow Marines. Pinned down by snipers, according to witnesses, he left cover to pull medic to safety. Once the medic was safe, Travis sprinted into sniper fire again to rescue a wounded Marine. Once that Marine was safe, he decided the only way they'd get out alive was for him to divert the enemy fire to himself. We lost Travis, but as one fellow Marine who was with him that day shared with us, he saved the lives of the entire patrol. If not him, then who would have saved those men that day? So for our family, the notion of pledging your life, your fortune, your sacred honor to the very concept of if not me, then who, so well embodied by those 56 men who declared American independence, is something we hold very dear. My son's story, however, is not a unique story, but it is a uniquely American story. I can tell you story after story about young men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice since September 11, 2001. Men and women who put service above self, who always led from the front, and who had the courage to enter the arena. And today, through our foundation, we work to bring this very message to the young Americans by offering a program to help create the next generation of leaders, to find those if not me, then who moments in their daily lives. And we share that it's not always those final challenging moments that matter, but it's the small decisions we make that prepare us for the big moments we're all going to face during our lifetime. We challenge young men and women to look for the moments in their lives where they can do good, to recognize big and small decisions as opportunities to stand up for others, and defend what's right and help those around them. And we're seeing great reception for this message in schools and communities across the country. And it's gaining amazing momentum, and we know in our hearts it's because it sparks the very essence of what it means to be an American. So today, as we honor the American flag, as we remember all those who have sacrificed greatly for the principles for which it stands, let's all challenge ourselves to find, if not me, then who moments in our daily lives. Do it as an example for the next generation of leaders, these young Americans who must embrace a life of character to ensure our nation continues to be that great beacon of hope. Do it for those in harm's way today, and for this courageous generation of American heroes who wore our flag into battle to fight for freedoms we cherish and gave their tomorrow for our today. And finally, do it for those brave and passionate men who 200 years ago pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor so that we may live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, both for being here and for those responding to North. And I'd like to also acknowledge Tom's wife, Janet, was here. And thank you for being here. And I also see many of the wives, fathers, and families of some of the 67 or so Northampton Patriots that we honored with the Township Supervisor. Thank you for being here, and thanks to your loved ones for the service they're doing for this country. This time I want to acknowledge one other person that I know likes to speak here. He's a friend. He's involved in Veterans Affairs. And that would be Dan Fraley, Coach County Director of Veterans Affairs. Dan, you don't say a few words?
Thank you, Pete, and thanks for having me out here. These are the kind of moments that inspire us as Americans to be here, to see the old flags going where they belong and new flags coming up every day. I'll tell you where I was Sunday afternoon. I had an opportunity to see 58,148 American flags, small American flags, put into the ground. Right here in Bucks County, in the Town area, there's a group down there of Vietnam veterans that put these small American flags into the ground in the shape of the Vietnam Memorial in the National Mall in Washington, D.C. So they started this 26 years ago, and I've been going down there almost all 26 years, putting these little American flags. And when I hear Tom Manion talk about his brave son, a hero, and all the medals that he did receive, we need to remember one thing about us as Americans. We're all not heroes, and we all don't want to go to war. When my term came back in the 60s, I volunteered for the Marine Corps and I volunteered to go to Vietnam. When I got there, it was a different story. But my number 3 friend, we know that our scouts and teenagers, they all have ranking number 1, number 2, number 3. Well, my number 2 friend lives over here in Holland today, Marine, Vietnam. He came back with me in one piece. My number 3 friend, George Anderson. Unlike Travis, George didn't want to go. We had what we called a draft back in the 1960s. And there was a lottery, and you didn't win money. You had an opportunity to go to war. And George did not want to go. Reality, George didn't want to go to war. 500 young men were dying every week in 1967 and 68. George didn't want to be one of them. 13 months later, I came home. Charley's probably home watching TV tonight, watching old Eagle reruns. George was killed by a short man in a medical tent by a U.S. rocket. I still stay in touch with George's brother. I had an opportunity to put a flag in his ground to remember George on Sunday. George will always be with me. And I moved him up from my number 3 friend to my number 2 friend, where he'll always stay. Thank you.
I just would like to ask you gentlemen to stand, and others. Fred Caldwell, World War II sailor, building tin can sailor. Please stand up. And Henry Peace and Iwo Jima sailor.
Right now, we have over 1,900 veterans and spouses buried in Washington National Park. 1,900 heroes and their spouses.
Any other World War II vets here? And I know we have several veterans here. Dick Weaver from Newtown, used to be a former supervisor over there. He's in the Marine Corps League. locally. How about a round of applause for all our veterans? The commissioners have said that they would relinquish their time. That's correct. At this time, the Holland Middle Choral will sing God Bless America, and then that will be followed by all of us singing, the Grand Old Flag. Mr. Wizard Scouts will begin the ceremonies and dispose of the ceremony. Linda?
Photographer. Sorry about all that, but it's the way it is,
You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, and there's never a boast or brag. But all the great and see, for God, keep your eye on the grand old flag.
For all guys and gals, I gotta say, you're the best, especially because you came out here, chancing weather conditions, and you stood by us, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you very much. Another round of applause for the people. Now, we got this program just about in 30 minutes. We started 10 after, it's a little after 20 of. So we're right on schedule. You're all welcome to stay around. I'm now going to turn it over to the scouts, who will go into their ceremony of taking care of what needs to be done with our flags. Again, to our guest Tom Manion, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you being here.
I haven't stood that still since guard duty.
We're not worried about that. Gonna clean yourself up there?
I think they still work. Yeah, we got you, guy. How can we not get you?
When I got up, I thought I was going to go out that way.
As you can see, this banner is bound of freedom. Freedom is no longer tattered, is full of use and need. All right, it is honored and proud of the freedom. We proudly represent this great nation.
Guys, still part of the ceremony going on.
Color guard, prepare to use your colors. Remove the colors.
The flag of our nation should always be a strong, vivid symbol of our land and fly brightly in our lives. Our flag is a symbol of our people, our freedom, and our strength. So it is now that we commit this flag, which no longer can fulfill these duties, to the flag, so that we may replace it with a new flag to properly symbolize our nation. May the spirit of this flag be born again in a new flag.
Color guard, prepare the colors.
I am your flag. I appear in many places. I have taken many forms and have been called by many names. I was authorized by Congress in 1818 in the form you see now, and have remained unchanged except to add a new star each July 4th after a new state joined the Union until I reach my present number of 50. I am more than red and white and blue cloth shaped into design. I am the silent sentinel of freedom. People of every country know me on sight. Many countries love me as you do. Other countries look upon me with contempt because they don't allow the freedom and democracy I represent. I am strong, and the people of America have made me strong. My strength comes from your willingness to help those that are in need. You strive for world peace and stand ready to fight oppression. You feed starving children. You offer a home to anyone who will pledge allegiance to me. Your sons gather beneath me to offer their lives on the battlefield to preserve the liberty I represent.
That flag you have over there, it looks like it's probably brand new. It's a flag of the flag of the
Scouts are some of my favorite people. I listen to your flag pledges at each gathering, and you learn how to raise and lower me as you grow through your ranks. I appreciate the tender care you give me. I feel your love and respect when you raise your three-finger salute as I pass. Now I am tired. It is time for me to rest in the sacred flames which you now tend. Only you scouts and my veterans possess the honor needed to bring me to a proper end. To set my spirit loose, first cut the blue field away from my stripes.
Seven red stripes and 6 white stripes together represent the original 13 colonies that gained us liberty. The stars represent the 50 sovereign states of our union. And for blue is the truth and justice, like the eternal blue of the star-filled heavens.
Place the blue field onto the fire. As you do this, thank the original colonies and the pioneers who carved the nation out of wilderness. They left everything to fight for independence and liberty.
Place the red stripes into the fire.
The white stripes remind us of purity of purpose, thought, word, and deed.
Place the white stripes into the fire.
Now I am just a memory. But if there is a tear in your eye, or a lump in your throat, or if you felt a shiver in your spine as you watched me burn, then I will be back next time. You needn't. And my colors will be fresh and bright, and my edges will not be tattered anymore. When I climb to the top of this flagpole, I will wave at you and remember the love and respect you showed me here this evening.
I'd now like to introduce Assistant Scout Master Mike DeBanco from Troop 5, who was able to arrange for a very special send-off for a group of Marines a couple years back from the former World Base Naval Air Base. And we had a special presentation of a flag to them that Mr. DeBanco will now review with our chief code.
I would like now our Senior Patrol Leader to end with a flag pledge that we created to honor the Marines of Marine Heavy Helicopter Squadron 772, who served us in Afghanistan on April 30th, 2009. We saw them off from Willow Grove Air Base and gave them a flag to fly in their camp, and we continue to support them while they are deployed, sending them care packages each month. As we saw those Marines off, we gave them a flag to fly in Afghanistan, and we promised to read a pledge we wrote to each gathering as a way we keep in touch with them and honor their service. I'd like our Senior Patrol Leader, Rob Healy, to now repeat the pledge that we have written.
While it is often said, that the Boy Scouts represent the most wholesome youth movement in America. As Scouts, we recognize that our ability to enjoy our youth and take many things for granted is made possible by men and women of our military who fight in faraway places to protect our freedoms. When we go to a ball game, go to the movies, or even to an after-school job, we tend to forget that we are enjoying the fruits of freedom. Many kids in other countries don't share these freedoms. While we may take our freedoms for granted, we do not take for granted the personal sacrifices of the men and women of our armed forces while serving our country. Their service allows us to be free, and we take things for granted that others can only dream of having. While they will no doubt see many flags while we're in the service of our country, we hope that they remember that the flag we gave them is special. On a flag, it represents not only our country, but this flag represents the appreciation of the boys from our hometown. And when they see that flag fly over their camp each time it waves in the breeze, we know that they remember, that we remember what they are doing. We remember how important it is, and that we do not and will not take their sacrifice for granted. Until they all come home, we will remember that at each flag ceremony we hold every week. Every week will be reread as pledge, not to forget, and hope that they think of us every week too. We ask God to have each and every member of that unit return home safe, that they will be in our thoughts and prayers until they do.
Fortunately, these Marines did return home just before Thanksgiving 2009. They all returned home with no casualties. They returned the flag we gave them after flying it during combat missions in Afghanistan, and we now treasure that flag as an important piece of Troop 5 history.
I think that's the conclusion of our program. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.